Canada is a majestic country stretching across vast lands and attracting tourists from all corners of the world. Deep in the wilderness of its forests, where the snow covers the ground with its pure white blanket and the wind whispers ancient legends, something incredible was discovered. It is a secret that will make you ponder the nature of reality and may well shatter everything you thought you knew about our world. You are with TopFacts BLACK, and these are the amazing discoveries in Canada that are hard to believe. Enjoy watching, and of course, let us go. Two Arcs is a project for creating an emergency bunker in Canada, which was built using 42 school buses filled with concrete and covered with earth to a thickness of 4 meters. This bunker can accommodate up to 350 people and is equipped with all the necessary systems for survival, including a generator, telephone communications, sewage, and medical equipment. An engineer named Bruce Beach spent more than 20 years building this bunker and invested all his savings into it. He created comfortable areas for sleeping, relaxing, and for children to play, to provide people with comfortable conditions in the event of catastrophic events. In addition, Bruce Beach continues to maintain all the installed systems and update the equipment to be ready for any possible emergency in the future. Among us ordinary people, encounters with something mysterious, inexplicable, and incredible sometimes occur. One such case happened in Canada when an ordinary guy photographed an unbelievable creature that made his heart skip a beat. Canada's forests are known to be home to various inhabitants, but what he found was entirely different. An astonishing being, seemingly from another world, appeared to be looking right at him from the photograph. Some people believe such things can happen only in movies, but that is not true. Who is it? A monkey that ran out onto the road from the depths of the forest? Or a being from another galaxy that ended up in our reality by chance? Opinions differ, but one thing is certain. This unusual and magical creature has won the hearts of many lovers of mysteries and mystical phenomena. Each one of us has probably visited the fast food restaurant McDonald's, since they have been popular and accessible practically everywhere. People associate this restaurant with quick, inexpensive, and tasty meals, but who would have thought there exists a floating McDonald's? This unusual restaurant was built for an exhibition in Vancouver and featured a stylish interior while the staff wore naval uniforms. The place was extremely popular during the exhibition, and it was planned that the floating restaurant would continue operating after the event. However, for unknown reasons, that never happened. The floating McDonald's remained at the waterfront for several years and was then moved to a less populated part of the city. Since then, it has stood abandoned and neglected, rusted and deserted for several decades. Smoking mountains are words that sound unusual and even mysterious. However, in reality, it is quite an ordinary phenomenon in Canada. The smoke rising from the mountains resembles a campfire, creating an extraordinary atmosphere. This phenomenon is called self-ignition of brown coal or lignite. The reason for this is that the slopes of these mountains contain large deposits of lignite, which is rich in sulfur and can spontaneously ignite as soon as the mineral seams and hillsides are exposed to air. Touching such stones is strictly forbidden because they can easily burn through even solid objects. Scientists believe that the smoking hills in Canada have been burning for several centuries and will continue to burn for many, many years. This phenomenon creates the impression of some mysterious, eternal life of the mountains, which draws people's attention, sparks their interest, and inspires awe. The next discovery happened in 2011. A group of miners in the province of Alberta found something astonishing: a mummified dinosaur. It was a small dinosaur that lived approximately 110 million years ago. When the miners discovered the body, they immediately realized it was no ordinary find. They were amazed at how well preserved the dinosaur was. It remained fully intact because it ended up under a layer of mud and mixture that preserved the body's tissues in good condition. The miners immediately reported this to their supervisors, who decided to hand the find over to scientists. To this day, they continue extensive research to learn more about the lives of dinosaurs and their evolution. Behold, Tlaloc is a lake that stands out from the crowd with its unique appearance. Spotty and mysterious, it is located not far from the town of Osoyoos in Canada. The local indigenous people call it this because of its one-of-a-kind look, where each spot is colored in different shades, ranging from green to gray and brown. This place is worth seeing with your own eyes. However, the lake appears only for a few months a year, fed by underground waters and melting snow. In summer, when the air becomes dry and hot, the water evaporates and forms small islands of various colors on the lake's surface, depending on the minerals in the water. Sadly, there are no underwater inhabitants in Tlaloc, but there are some microorganisms, which is also quite fascinating. Many compare this place to ancient lakes on Mars, and indeed, it does look that way. Far from the bustle of the city, in the midst of Canada's snowy forests, lies a little-known ice hotel. It was discovered accidentally by travelers who were wandering along snowy trails, looking for shelter from the piercing wind. As soon as they approached the frozen building, they were overcome by an indescribable feeling of awe and excitement. The hotel, built from snow, seemed to have grown right out of the ground, and every detail of its architecture shows a unique level of craftsmanship. The shine of ice and snow covering the walls and ceilings creates the impression of being inside a fairy tale castle. Inside the hotel are ice sculptures, crafted with astonishing precision and attention to detail. And every evening, as the sun sets below the horizon, the icy corridors are filled with a soft glow, strewn with stars. The next no less amazing discovery of our journey is the celestial spectacle known as Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. Deep in the Canadian wilderness, where the night sky is not dimmed by the distorting lights of cities, one can witness this magical dance of light. Green, blue, and purple waves move slowly across the sky, reminding us of the unfathomable beauty of nature and the cosmos. The dazzling display of the Northern Lights stirs the imagination and brings delight with its enchanting splendor. The secrets of this natural phenomenon have not yet been fully uncovered, and observing the Aurora Borealis is an opportunity to glimpse one of the world's most mysterious wonders. Who would have thought that in such a distant corner of civilization you could encounter such an astonishing phenomenon, as if straight from the paintings of fantasy artists? The next amazing discovery involves dead Canadian frogs capable of coming back to life after freezing. These unique animals live in Canada's cold regions, where temperatures can drop to extremely low levels. Throughout winter, the frogs freeze and their hearts stop beating. But as soon as spring arrives, they revive, and their hearts start beating again. This is a true miracle of nature, demonstrating the incredible survivability and adaptability of living creatures. Further research has shown that the frog's unique ability to revive after freezing is linked to their physiology. During freezing, a special antifreeze forms in the frog's cells, preventing cell damage and allowing them to come back to life once they thaw. A mystery of our journey is the enigmatic whiteberry known as doll's eyes. These rare and little-known berries grow only in certain parts of Canada, hidden among lush vegetation. Their name comes from their distinctive appearance: white berries with bright blue veins reminiscent of the eyes of old-fashioned dolls. Doll's eyes are not only beautiful, but also beneficial. People who have tasted these berries claim that they have healing properties and can strengthen the immune system. However, the secrets of doll's eyes remain only partially uncovered, and many scientists continue to study their properties to understand how this unique plant life managed to survive and evolve in Canada's harsh natural conditions. While traveling across Canada, you might come upon a mysterious forest of signposts. At first glance, it appears to be an ordinary forest, but upon closer inspection you notice hundreds, even thousands of signposts attached to the trees. Each signpost contains an arrow and an inscription indicating a particular attraction, city, or even private estate. No one knows for sure who put up all these signs or why, but they have turned the forest into a kind of open-air museum. Many travelers come here to contribute to this unique work of art, adding their own signposts and expanding the forest's boundaries. Another remarkable discovery is a polar bear jail located in northern Canada. This unusual place was created for the temporary holding of bears that pose a threat to local residents or are found near populated areas. The purpose of this facility is to ensure the safety of the inhabitants and save the bears' lives. Polar bears are placed in special enclosures where researchers and veterinarians study them. After a certain period, when the bears have adapted to the wild, they are released back into their natural habitat. This process helps maintain balance in nature and reduces conflicts between people and wildlife. The snapdragon is a fascinating plant that rarely occurs in nature, but it was once discovered in Canada. This plant species astounds observers with its vibrant and singular appearance. The flowers of the snapdragon have velvety petals and a bright orange color with dark spots that resemble a yawning lion. The seed pods of sainfoin, which appear after the flowers bloom, form a remarkable and interesting sight. They twist and curl, creating unique shapes and patterns. Their unusual form and ability to stand out among other plants make them a genuine work of natural art. In April 2014, the residents of a small Canadian town were stunned by the discovery of a huge blue whale carcass washed ashore. The blue whale is the largest creature on the planet, and they generally inhabit only the open ocean. Therefore, this discovery became a genuine sensation for local residents and for the whole world. The whale's carcass exceeded 25 meters in length and weighed nearly 100 tons. Scientists and rescuers arrived quickly to investigate the cause of this giant mammal's death and to ensure the safety of local people. After extensive research, it turned out that the whale most likely died from collision with a ship or by getting caught in fishing nets. Subsequently, the whale's carcass was carefully dissected and disposed of, while the bones were preserved for research and potential use in scientific and educational endeavors. An unusual phenomenon was discovered on Abraham Lake: methane bubbles rising from its depths. Why is this so important? Because methane is a gas that is one of the major threats to global warming and climate change. Due to environmental changes and rising air temperatures, methane that was once frozen in ice and soil has begun to be released into the atmosphere. And now, when we see methane bubbles on Abraham Lake, we realize that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This discovery is a reminder that our planet is changing and that we must do everything possible to prevent even more serious consequences. A sunken ship on Cove Island in Canada became a sensation among researchers and lovers of maritime mysteries. It was discovered by accident when local divers decided to explore the ocean floor in that area. The ship, which is believed to be from the 18th century, was a mysteriously sunken vessel about which no mention has been preserved in historical documents. The discovery of the ship has been a real breakthrough, and now scientists are working to restore its history and uncover the secrets it holds within its depths. In the province of Alberta, Canada, archaeologists made a unique discovery: one of the most complete and well-preserved dinosaur skeletons, around 76 million years old. It was found by accident during land development work. The skeleton belonged to a species of predatory dinosaur and comprised more than 90% of all its bones, allowing scientists to reconstruct the appearance of this ancient giant with incredible precision. This discovery sheds light on many aspects of dinosaur life and contributes to the advancement of paleontology. A fisherman in northern Canada became the owner of a one-of-a-kind find, a 10-meter sturgeon he caught while fishing. This gigantic sturgeon generated enormous interest among scientists and conservationists. as the size of this fish-like creature far exceeds the usual parameters for sturgeons. The fisherman who caught this giant decided to release it back into the water after taking a few photos to share his amazing discovery with the world. In Canada, miners accidentally discovered the remains of a 60,000-year-old wolf pup in exceptional condition. Scientists conducted a series of studies and analyses through which it was determined that the pup belonged to an ancient wolf species that became extinct many thousands of years ago. Examining this find provided new data on the diet, lifestyle, and habitats of ancient wolves, as well as made a valuable contribution to understanding the evolutionary history of modern wolf species. In a remote part of British Columbia lies the Sarlacc Pit, a giant sinkhole that is a natural phenomenon. This geological formation was created thousands of years ago due to erosion and shifting tectonic plates. The Sarlacc Pit is over 100 meters deep and around 300 in diameter. Local inhabitants consider this pit a sacred place and believe it possesses magical properties. The Sarlacc Pit attracts tourists from all over the world with its unusual shape and mystical atmosphere. A deserted sanatorium in Canada once served as a place of rest and treatment for many people, but now stands abandoned and forgotten. The sanatorium building was constructed in the early 20th century and is an example of the architecture of that period. Inside, you can find antique furniture and household items that tell the story of people's lives in the past. Over time, nature has reclaimed its rights, and the sanatorium building is gradually becoming part of the surrounding forest. This place draws fans of the mystical, as well as those looking for inspiration in historic architecture and the atmosphere of bygone days. In the Quebec desert of Canada, a collection of mysterious stone structures was discovered, whose origins are shrouded in secrecy. These ancient constructions were found by chance by a group of travelers who were exploring the region for adventure. Scientists and historians are still trying to determine who built these structures and for what purpose. Perhaps they were used as ritual grounds or observation points by ancient tribes. However, many people believe they may be linked to some advanced civilization we have yet to learn about. Canada is home to an astonishing geological formation known as the Red Rock. It is composed of sandy calcite and iron oxide, which give it a bright red color. This geological phenomenon draws the attention of scientists and tourists worldwide, all seeking to unravel the mystery of its origin. Some scientists believe that the red rock could have formed through natural processes such as erosion and oxidation, while others propose that it is connected to ancient cults or the intervention of extraterrestrials. In Canada's forests, a lost airplane from 1945, dating back to the Second World War, was discovered. This forgotten witness of history was found by accident by a group of tourists who were lost in the wilderness. The plane turned out to be in surprisingly good condition, which enabled researchers to reconstruct its story and learn the fate of its crew. The find has become the subject of numerous studies and documentaries, illustrating the grim realities of wartime and the importance of preserving memories of that era. The town of Frank in Canada became the scene of a terrible tragedy when, in the early 20th century, the mountain above the town collapsed, triggering a massive landslide that annihilated much of the settlement. Thousands of inhabitants were buried under tons of earth and rocks, and the ruined town became a symbol of the power and unpredictability of natural disasters. Since then, Frank has been known as the crushed town and draws the attention of historians, geologists, and tourists wanting to learn about this tragic story. Local authorities and volunteers meticulously preserve the historical memory of the event, organizing tours and lectures about the lives of Frank's inhabitants before and after the catastrophe. The remnants of destroyed buildings and structures serve as a reminder of the consequences of nature's fury and the importance of caring for our planet and environment. So these have been the incredible discoveries in Canada that are hard to believe. If you enjoyed the episode and would like to see something similar, then leave comments, hit like, Subscribe to Top Facts Black, and right now watch one of the previous episodes that have appeared on your screen.